to do documentation. I highly recommend if you can write some documentation for any open source project, do it. Even if you can review documentation, or if you're reading something and say this isn't quite right or there's some typos, fix it. I love the fact that there's a contributing button here. You know what's really let's recharge it. Go take a look at our billboard. Fire's out. That means a bear is somewhere near. I think we're going to change flashlight to F and E to use. Whoa, whoa. Okay. So this seems to be related somewhat to pulling from the asset library. So now we're doing it like this. And I put myself inside a TV. It's very inspired by Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Hey guys, yo, what's up? Ayo, hey, check this out. We're gonna go in and we're gonna make some trees today, yo. Don't forget to smash that subscribe. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Oh. No. Oh. Damn it. I'm gonna get you. Fine. I accept my fate. And dead. Sooty's revenge. My balls. Thank you for following. Follow me wherever I go, my balls. And I appreciate that's about you. Why didn't I pitch a tent? Oh boy, where am I gonna poop? I don't see any pooping holes. Uh-oh, what happened? Boom. He got you. You dead. Game over. This is your nightmare. ID10T. Yes. I don't want to be probed without giving consent. And then this is what I love about StreamerBot. Yes. "14 hours in, and this is what I've accomplished." Yeah. Ah, help me. from the asset library. Smart shit 2D. Smart shape 2D. Wow. Is he gonna come back? Oh yeah, he's coming back. Oh yeah, he's mad. He's mad. What? Watch. Watch him. Watch him. Ah, yeah. Get out, fire. Like you're talking with Captain. Let me see if I could do my Captain impression. I am not the Captain, but my eyebrows also move in a way like the Captain.
Thanks, JD, folks. Be sure to give JD some.
I'm not I mean. Oh, Daddy. God damn it. To get a clip of myself here, or if anybody else wants to get it, I want to show off where I'm at with this. And I'm curious, for this to be a functional game, we're almost there, right? We are almost there. I just need to create the enemies. We have the base stuff. We just need to create like what the variations are going to be. What the Is he gonna come back? Oh yeah, he's coming back. Oh yeah, he's mad. He's mad. What? Watch. Watch him. Watch. Welcome in, Stony. Just before the stream even starts, disconnecting me. How you doing, bud? Hopefully you're getting your computer problems fixed, taken care of. I know they are causing you some issues, giving you cold feet and all that. But hope things are better in that department. I also realize that today most people are going to be watching friends of the streams.
How dare you call me rude? I am always so nice to you. Veros cry I am even first.
Yes, you are first. You are first. And it's the first time in a long time that somebody's actually redeemed first. Because why? Why it takes so long? Huh? Why don't people want to be first for me? But yes, I appreciate you, Stony. I appreciate everything that you do, except disconnecting me. Right, let's see. Where the hell was I on Monday? I was doing stuff. And today I plan on doing more of the stuff. Right? You know, Stony, for me, normally it takes like an hour to an hour and a half before somebody is like, oh, first. Hey. But you know what? I should make it more prominent, Shouldn't I? I should like update it so that like where thing. It doesn't show up there. A scene. Yeah, like here. Like add another label here. And have this stream first. Or put it down at the bottom. Or maybe, you know, have some. What I'd really like to do. I'm sure I can do it. Ooh. Ooh, my brain moving. But what if I like did something and like altered the material on here, or even put like a decal? Ooh, decal is a thing. What's it say? What's it say? What's it say? Texture. I could do it. Ooh. I wonder. Yeah, something like that, or even the viewport texture. We could do like a news ticker type thing. Can I move you? Let's do a placeholder. Let's do a placeholder just to see. Okay. Okay. Now we're talking. What did you use to order? Or where did you order them from? Because, you know, I'm check this out. I want more. But I also like doing I kind of like doing my own, but also I suck at it. Um Incredible's here. Something like this might actually work. And if I like, flatten it. Yeah, I wanted to keep watching our friends playing Valheim. But at the same time I didn't want to keep watching our friends playing Valheim. But Ball, I was having an idea here. what if, all right, it's not showing there. Well, let's save it here and just see. It doesn't update. It doesn't update live. But okay, so what if I were to do a canvas level or canvas layer? Because we're looking at like this has a material. The texture is a what? It's a no. Spout texture. I guess that's not the it's not the best example here. But what if I do like a canvas texture that takes, I'm thinking similar to like Finite's super hyper redeem, but not quite. Like have the stuff on my desk here and just like a ticker. Like first latest sub, last raid, you know, that kind of stuff. Just blah, 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 blah. Right. That's not what we're here for right now. Well, I don't know what we're here for right now. If we're here for anything. Pretzel's gone bad. Or I've gone bad. So Stony, I wanted to do the Spotify. I did have song requests and stuff. But our friend BitGamey got spanked. And not in the you have to pay extra type way. Oh, I don't want to beat Finite. I want to be Finite. Well, not really. But similar to his Super Hyper Turbo Edition redeem. I want to. I think having a ticker like that. I think that, you know what? Here's what I do when I have an idea. I squish it down in my brain hole and I forget about it. The stream things. I just opened up Pretzel, play music, and look what it shows. Okay, at least we got that. Now let's go to stations. Loading. Nothing here is loading. Maybe if I go homing. Okay, if it goes again, then I'm gonna switch over to Spotify again. So Bit Gaming got I'm not sure exactly what happened with his stream. He was doing the song request type thing, but his VODs or while he was streaming were getting like warning from Twitch. Now I don't know. I think it's possible he isn't doing the track 2 thing, and or channel 2, track 2, however it goes. Because right now, if you watch my VOD or if you watch on YouTube, there's no music on YouTube. I'm sorry, folks on YouTube. There's no music there. If you want to hear, the music, then that's the then come on over to Twitch. But so you can have certain applications go to certain channels only, and have only certain certain audio channels go through to the VOD. So I don't know if that was the problem, that it wasn't going to the VOD, or if it was something else. But I'm a little bit hesitant to have music playing that isn't from something like Pretzel or Harris Heller Stream Beats, or yeah, I have it set up correctly too. I'm just worried. But if it's not happening to everybody, if it just happened to Big Gamey, and Big Gamey only has the the setup where don't break where the VODs are recording, then it might not be an issue if I put the song request back on. Maybe. To only act on. Interesting. So what you're saying is, like, Geddy Lee would have to be listening or watching my stream and be like, "Hey, I'm Geddy Lee. I know, like this," and like call up Papa Twitch and ask him to take it down. Stepping to the limelight, the universal dream for those who wish to see, those who wish to be. Geddy Lee, best bass player ever. Well, in that case, down. Yeah, maybe I'll add it in a little bit later. Criteria. Ah. Oh, you could just add a reward redemption. Okay. We'll play with that at a later time. Maybe I'll just come back to that. I'm not going to turn them all on right now, because I was also having some problems with StreamerBot 1.0 alpha and the multiple WebSocket stuffs. I don't know if it was a StreamerBot problem, if it was a Spotify problem, if it was a me problem, if it was a you problem. All right. So here's what we got. In character, I'm curious about. So I've got the lerp time. We need to get the lerp time, or lerp wait. Has grappled current lerp weight. I have raid rules? Yeah, hold on. No, don't. That's not what I meant to do. I don't remember where I have. How do I do it? Sorry. Oh, raid. Okay, minimum account age. Okay, I put it down to 7 days. Is 7 days, like, 7 days enough? Seven days. If not, I could change it. Damn it, pretzel. Tony, are you still there? I pressed the wrong button. Is it still sub only? No, I disabled it. I accidentally pressed shield mode when I was looking for the thingy. Flip. Hey, is there a better way to turn all this shit off? Channel. No. I don't have. Oh, it doesn't say sub only chat, and I'm not in follower only chat. No, I don't have it. Fuck. You might need to refresh. Look, I've got it here. It's not only sub only chat, it's not follower only.
Hey, insert rating streamer's name here. Thank you for the raid.
Develop from
How
scratch.
did insert last activity here go? Now, let's rock.
Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Develop from Scratch. Thank you for the raid. How are you? I'm guessing Stony is the one who guided you in. Also, first raid, and you're coming in with 22. Congratulations on that. Very well done. What were you working on? What were you doing? How was your stream? Looks like some OS development. Right on. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me if there's anything you want to share. Please. Very cool. See, we got Blurry Squirrel. Welcome in. Thank you for the compliment there. Who else do we get? Code Brains. Welcome in. Good to see you. I am doing Godot. In fact, my entire overlay here is done in Godot, including that raid alert. So welcome in, Raiders. For those of you who don't know me, I'm JD. I do web development professionally, but when I'm on stream, I pretend to do game development. Usually I just get distracted. Right now I'm working on a game that is, the goal is to make it kind of a rage-inducing upside-down version of Jump King. And what I mean by that is I'm trying to make it difficult, I'm trying to make it frustrating, and I'm trying to make it so that it's very easy to fall all the way back, but that dopamine hit makes you want to keep going. Actually, Stony, I think I put a long enough cooldown that you can't, but it's possible. Gemfruit, welcome in. Good to see you. So just to show you all kind of what I'm working on, this is the Game Jam version of the game that I'm working on. Blurry Squirrel, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a good day. So it's a swinging game. You can't jump. All you can do is grapple. Also, Code Brains, thank you for the follow. There's a little bit of physics to it where, you can pump the legs and get a bit more swing going. But if you go too far, if you fall too far, well, this is what happens. Apparently nothing, because, oh, there we go. If you fall, and much like Jump King, you get sent back. But right now I'm working on rewriting the code for the character, because if we look here, this is the current code for the character. Almost 500 lines of complete and total spaghetti. So what I'm doing, I'm taking my own advice. What I do occasionally, I need to do some more, is I do some Ryaswar. Thank you for the follow. I do some YouTube tutorials, and one of them that I did was on finite state machines in Godot. So I'm taking my own advice here and rebuilding the character using a state machine. And for people, so Code Brains, great question. Gemfruit, which widget? Because the one on stream is, well, it looks like it's off by one, but it might get there. So this version, I think that for subs, it's a weird thing where, hold on, where you have to send a message. If you just subbed, I didn't get a notification, but I love you. So getting to this point, I originally made this game for a game jam called Ludum Dare, which is a 72-hour game jam that happens twice a year, and a so the game itself, to that point, was 72 hours. So this game, to this point, took 3 days. Oh, are you kidding me? But I'm working on now on making it more of a game, like not just a game jam, but more of a something that I could be proud enough to put up on Steam, and that maybe streamers will want to play. I would love to have some kind of Twitch integration with it, where chat can mess with the player. But that's a long way down. So I've been working on this off and on for a couple months now, 2 or 3 nights a week. And what I was doing for a while was concentrating way too much on level design. But Saturday, my last stream on Saturday, well, not my last stream because I streamed Monday, but my stream on Saturday, I was trying to fix something, make a slight adjustment, and I realized that my character code was complete and total spaghetti. A big pile of spaghetti. Covered in marinara and mushrooms. So I decided to come back to take a step back from like level design and make the character a little bit easier to deal with. And so it's interesting, CodeBrains. And I actually did a presentation about this at a conference, how working on stream actually, it may feel like I don't do as many lines of code, but the code that I do write is better quality normally, because I take time to think it out and talk it out, and I have people like you and Stony and Fallen Learns, who just showed up, wonderful person, to bounce ideas off of. So yeah, there are a lot of distractions, and I love being distracted. I am here for distractions. Bring it on. Talk to me. Doesn't even have to be dirty. Talk to me. I mean, it is a double-edged sword. I mean, my goal would be someday to get to a point where I have hundreds and hundreds of viewers hanging out, and just, a wall of chat where I can, keep an eye on things and still be able to talk. But if I ever get to that point, I don't want to lose like the core of my stream, which is me trying to make game. It is, yeah, it's like pair programming. And Blurry Squire, I'm sorry I called you Blurry Squirrel earlier. The I looked like an L and in the wrong place, and maybe I am too tired to be reading, but that is a great point. So that's one of the reasons that I'm getting away from the tile map based level, is because I had difficulties getting, when the player happens to land right on a sharp point, that was an issue. So instead, what I'm looking at is manually designing the entire level. And let me hide that, hide those, and then this is horrible. This is bad, but this is also an example of like hand drawing the level and making sure that it doesn't have any spots like that where the player can get caught. And if there are any that we find, whether it be through playtesting, just running through levels and trying to break it, or anything like that, then I want to put in a little bump. Ahmed, welcome in. Good to see you. Just a little bump to one side or the other that'll get the player moving again. But yeah, that is because so there aren't going to be checkpoints per se. Instead, it's going to be grapple down, and then have certain areas that have like one-way collision where the player can go above and reset, or the player gets blown into a certain spot, falls down, and then starts again from there. But there's a possibility that if a player gets hit at the exact wrong spot, that they fall down very, very far. Are you familiar with the game Jump King? Because that's what I'm basing it off of. Ahmed, things are going pretty well, actually. We're working on turning my player into a finite state machine instead of the spaghetti code. So refactoring him quite a bit. So CodeBrains, the player, I call him test character. Here we'll go to the 2D version. Hide all the thingies. This player here, my own design. You may notice some similarities potentially. And he was originally created for a presentation. So let me show you that. That's something that I'm really, really proud of, honestly. Let's see. Oh no, I think he was a 4-4 or 4-3. See, presentation. Yeah, 4-3. Sorry, let me open up the right version of Godot here. So I originally made that sprite myself. But that was because I wanted to make something very, very specific. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Now, so this is a presentation that I gave. Where all the slides are different screens in a level. And now I also have the speaker notes page where you can see this is my speaker notes screen, where this is what I have on my own monitor while playing the game and presenting on the main screen. But yeah, I made the character for this, but all the sprites. So there are a ton of great free assets available. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is Kenny. There's also all of these things. So Kenny gives everything away. So yeah, Code Brains. It did get some laughs. Everybody, I mean, when I started making that presentation, that's actually the second presentation I gave with that framework. Um, I went in with the idea of I don't care if anybody listens to a word I say. I want them to think, "Holy shit, that was a really cool way to say it," and mission accomplished. But yeah, when on the original presentation that I made, I actually had a platform where it looked like I was rising up on the thumbs up picture hat on the bill of the hat. But as far as game assets go, for something to get started with, if you're not a good artist like I'm not, Kenny has some amazing assets for free, and they are all like free, open source, um, CC0. Take it, do whatever you want with it. You don't even need to say it came from here. And you'll see some of the tiles that I had in that presentation came from Kenny assets. Actually, all of the tiles I had in that presentation came from Kenny assets. It was just the character myself that didn't come from there. So Kenny's great. K-Kit has some really good 3D assets. And that are free. They also have a lot of like more or paid assets. Upcoming releases. Cool. Sorry, I get distracted a little bit here, but um, that's better. That's so much better. But I did buy the all-in-one pack, and it was $20 for everything in one zip file. I'll take it. Um, and it supports a good person. All right, so back to. Excuse me, my guts are getting bubbly. Back to the character here. Let's go into the script. Character script, and then we have the. Are we in the falling state? Yeah. So the other thing, so if you're not familiar with the purpose of a finite state machine in game dev or in any dev, oh shit balls. Spilled my Mountain Dew. So basically, it's every state, every way that the character can act should be in its own file, in its own class. I'm not sure if you're into object-oriented programming versus procedural, functional, whatever your flavor is, but it's a very OOP way of thinking where when the character is standing still, it should be using the class for idle. When the character is walking, it should be using the walking class. When the character is falling, it should be using the falling class. David, what is up? Welcome in. And welcome back. It's good to see you. And then for it to be a state machine, is you've only got a certain number of states, and the machine part of it moves between the different states based on what the character should be doing. So the state machine here itself, we've got a couple things that are are going to be used by all the different states. We have the initial state, which we can set that in the character, and then we change the state. We first do the exit, we enter, and then we override all of the Godot virtual functions like physics update, input. And that way it's, we go from idle can either go to walk, grapple, and I can't draw today because I hurt my thumb. So I'm drawing with the wrong hand, but you get the idea. It determines how it can go between different states. And right now, working on refactoring the falling state so that when the player is falling, then this is what it does. And I'm considering the post grapple state as part of falling because, I mean, essentially gravity is pulling down. So sorry, there's a fly. I didn't get it, that little fucker. Also, I do use adult language. Whoops. Probably should have said that ahead of time. At gravity, post grapple clarity. And let's see if I the worst part about it is, well, I guess it's not the worst part. I guess the worst part is that I'm taking lives, or at least attempting to. But the worst part, welcome in, Odious. Good to see you again. Is that they're so tiny? They're tiny little fruit flies, teeny tiny little fruit flies that you can't see. And so, if you didn't know, or if I didn't announce that I am, at war with bugs or fruit flies, then you might think that I'm just losing my sight, losing my mind, and wish somebody would tell me I'm fine. We're in the same IRC room now. Yeah, I need to do that. Vinegar works pretty well. Just gave up his my pets. I lost my mind. I mean, I think it was the day before I pressed start on my first stream. Where I'm just like, I think this is going to be a good time. Let's try it. Oh, it's been downhill since then. Let's see. What was I just doing here? We have the falling state. Let's look at where I have it here. Windows 95. Windows 95. Windows 3.1. DOS 4. Let's be realistic here. Ooh. Okay, let's see. We got falling. We already have the. No, we don't. What am I doing here? We need the warp weight equals. Is that the right value there? Yep. If has grappled. Equals 1.5. There we go. 3D printed save icons. Wow. So, speaking of feeling older, uh I saw something recently how kids I mean, whenever you're miming talking on a phone. I don't know about you, but I'm always like, yeah, or something like that. But now kids who are miming talking on phones are just calm or like this. Where? Why? Why? Get off my lawn. You're making me sad. Very true. Although there is a new electric truck that is coming out very bare bones, and it was supposed to be like under 20,000 with American government subsidies, but somebody in the government went and changed um not subsidies, rebates, tax rebates. Well, developed from scratch. I'd imagine that people in like the 1940s, 1950s had the same conversation. Well, now that when kids are miming having a phone, they don't do this anymore. They go like this. Character velocity X. You've never seen the first one? I mean, that's the old like candlestick. That's what they were. Old candlestick phone. I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. No. Stony. No, I'm not this old. I was giving an example how, I was just making you know, today's kids are miming a phone by doing this instead of, I'd imagine, in the 40s and 50s, they're like, today's kids are miming a phone by going, yeah, instead of, ah. Right, where was I on this? Their velocity x 0.0 to there we go. So what we're doing here is if we just grappled, then we're going to make the lerp weight a little bit heavier and slow down. Do we really need the default lerp weight though? Yeah, we do. We do. Because the default lerp weight, I don't want the character to be able to run off the edge and go too far. I'd rather the character run off the edge and then kind of go straight down. Or a little bit more straight down. But let's see. Let's see. Here, what is default lerp weight? Oh, 5. Okay. Okay, so I'm doing it quite like that. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And if anybody has any questions about what I'm doing here, if you're curious about Godot, about game dev, well, maybe not about game dev, but about Godot, please feel free to ask. I thrive on questions, and it gives me an opportunity to make short form content for YouTube. Potentially. Allegedly. Okay, anything else I need here? This is everything that's going to happen in the falling state. Distance. Yeah, I'm going to unhard code this. But this whole thing is basically paying my tech debt. So CodeBrains, that's fair. There are two primary languages for Godot. One is C#, and the other is GD script. I come from a web dev background, so GD script feels very Pythonic to me. It has a lot of similarities with JavaScript, a lot of similarities with PHP in a way that makes sense to me in my brain hole. But I don't know C#. However, there was big news, very big news. Let's see if I can find it. Very big news that I will talk about after the ads. So when ads run, I usually put on words on stream to the detriment of Stony. But I need to go run to the restroom. But there was big news in the Godot world. It's gonna rock the world. It's gonna change everything, man. But I'll be back. All right. So the big news, it's not quite so C++ will work, but there's workarounds for it. However, as a show of good faith with C# support, JetBrains is now a platinum sponsor of Godot Foundation. If you're not already familiar with JetBrains, they build developer tools. Writer is a must-have IDE for GDScript, C#, and C++. So I do like the fact that Godot IDE is built into Godot, and if you want to get funky with it, Godot is built with Godot. So this application here is built in Godot. Just blew your mind, didn't I? My problem though is like this game. This game, my goal is for it to be a game on Steam. I enjoyed that. It took me back to my basic days. So Stony, okay. Place I work for, I can say this out loud now. Hero Devs is investing $20 million to fund open source maintainers securing end-of-life software. The company I work for has a $20 million open source sustainability fund. Now, what that means is that we are giving out money. I don't know the fine print, but we're giving out money for people to keep end-of-life software secure. End-of-life code keeps the world running. Maintainers rarely get paid to keep it secure. We're fixing that by funding creators who power today's internet. We recently got funded and we're featured on in Times Square because of our. Let me just make sure that. Well, I know this is public knowledge now, but we just got a huge investment from PSG. And we're taking a lot of that obviously a $20 million investment in open source sustainability. It's now open, accepting applications, and I mean between 2,500 and 250,000. But I'm sure there are a lot of strict requirements to get that money, and it has to be something that people. Well, I can't say for sure because I haven't read, and I don't want to. Last thing that I need is somebody calling up my boss and be like, hey, JD said on stream that I could get $250,000 for maintaining this 2-line bit of open source software. Guess what? I just called it end of life. No, I'm not saying that. I'm definitely not saying that. So yeah, big news. Godot is now getting sponsored by JetBrains. Hero Devs is keeping open source software sustainable at post end of life. It's a huge deal. Let me get the right windows open back up here. Because my OBS disappeared. Well done. Welcome in. Sorry I didn't say welcome in earlier. What the hell was that? Stony, yeah, about to embrace every FOSS tool, fundamental software. Yeah, there's some open source software, and this is kind of derail that I love. Absolutely love. Because there's some open source software, WordPress, that like forces or they want to enforce, well, if you're going to use it, then you're going to pay. And like not necessarily throw out money, but they want like a 5%, I think was the number. And there was that whole drama with WordPress Automatic and WP Engine, where Automatic, Matt, said that WP Engine wasn't paying their fair share for using WordPress. Had nothing to do with the fact that the guy with the keys to WordPress basically runs Automatic, and WP Engine is a competitor. Nothing to do with that at all. It's it's just because they weren't doing enough to contribute. But having I give back to things where I can. For Godot, it was a small thing, but I bought the plushie, where a big portion of the cost of that went back to the Godot Foundation. I went to Godot Con in Austin to support the engine. I talk about Godot on stream and promote the shit out of it. I'm giving it free airtime to all person who shows up. Stony, as a Drupal developer, being like next door neighbors with the WordPress community, we're just kind of the popcorn meme. Oh, I love Lifetime movies. Well done. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Everything is going to be, I'm saying it here, within 2 years, everything is going to be built in WASM using AI. That's it. That's all the web's going to be. Everything is going to be vibe coded. Every website's going to be WASM vibe coded. And fruit fly. I can't back that up. But yeah, Godot is a smaller smaller engine compared to Unreal and Unity, but making waves. I mean, there was more news, more news, not drama news. But Godot, you're going to be built if you do custom maps on Battlefield 6, it's building them in Godot. Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 is using Godot. It's getting there. It is getting, it's growing up. All right, file system here. Idle, walk, falling. Let's do a floating. Inherit. Character state interface. And floating. Yeah, Hilfert had a very good, very hot take. Basically, you know, decades from now, people are going to be looking back and saying, oh, they fucked up. Class name. Loading state. Extending character state interface. Okay. So let me check over here. And if you see me looking over to the side, it's because I've got another editor open over here that I'm looking at files instead of bouncing back and forth. Sometimes I forget that and I open up over here. Also to show what I'm looking at over there. But for right now, I'm looking basically at the handle floating. Handle falling, going through here. Yeah, John had opinions when it happened. So to be, I mean, that whole situation, the Unity, Unity apocalypse, is why I went to Godot. Because I was planning on learning game dev. I wanted to learn game dev. I had been messing around with the idea, trying to think, you know, maybe I'll learn, maybe I'll look into Unity because seems to be a decent thing. I even bought some humble bundles on how to Unity, and I started going through them, and then all that happened. I'm like, nah. Now I don't think that I'm ever going to make a game that's going to have that 100,000 downloads. That's going to hit that point where the download fee kicks in, but it's possible. And I don't want to be considered or I don't want to worry about that. Oh, Stony, I just saw your message. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Code Brains, yeah. I mean that went on Hacker News. I mean, I'm sure that I'm not sure what kind of dev you do, but I'm sure you also heard about the WordPress drama and all the bullshit that's happening around there. Even if you're not a web dev, if you're just in the development world at all, and that's an example of when open source goes bad. But at the same time, and um, Matt and friends took initiative to prevent. But anybody, Captain Krabs, welcome in. It's good to see you. Welcome back. Anybody could go on GitHub, hit that fork button on WordPress. I could call it JD does press. And, there's nothing they can do because of the way that the license is read. As long as I say this is based on WordPress, and now I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to claim to be a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. But, and that happened with Godot because there were some people who there were some people who didn't like a response that the former community manager and they left of their own accord. They weren't fired because of anything. But the former community manager had some things or responded to something and people didn't like the response, so they created their own fork of Godot. And they said something like freedom bullshit, blah blah blah. I don't want to get into that, but um my bandage is getting kind of icky. But yeah, that's a whole thing. All right, so we're gonna go into the floating state. How are we gonna enter floating? Well, as I said to do, I need to remember. Oh yeah, so Node.js is interesting. Also, I think Node 22, the most recent version of Node, this is big for anybody who does front end stuff. Now runs TypeScript without having to transpile it. Somebody that I work with helped out with that and made a big push. And we're all like sitting on the sidelines going, "Yes, thank you." Hold on, that BitLocker is okay, we're gonna do the interstate here. I agree. I agree. TypeScript is what we need. JavaScript, you had your day. TypeScript. If you don't like TypeScript, go back to jQuery. Did I say that out loud? Whoopsie. Oh, no, no. An M player. So, can you... Hold on. I've never run into that problem because I don't use BitLocker for a reason. Um... Can you do anything with that? Or is everything lost? Uh, yeah, manufacturers should not enable BitLocker by default. That's bullshit. Oh, Cobrains, yeah, I guess that does say something for BitLocker, but it should be opt-in. Global's getting blown.emit. That's right. I named a global signal getting blown. You want to fight about it? See back here. Bazite. I'm not familiar with that. Is that you said Lizard the Linux? Is that a game friendly flavor? Like what are if it is a if it's a game friendly flavor of Linux, is it like what are the advantages of that versus say Steam OS or something like that? Oh, Stony, you're just 0.04 off. Bazite is a Fedora designed to be similar to Steam OS 3 while functioning as a normal computer. Right off. Right off, right on. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. I mean, I'm kind of spoiled. You know, I spoiled. Yeah, I still like Linux, but I've been doing my work development on Mac forever now, where I have a collection of MacBooks. Some of them have little labels on the back that say property of insert former employer here, but we don't talk about that. It's based on Fedora, but Yum system doesn't work. Is SteamOS based on Fedora? I thought it was Debian or Ubuntu. No, it's built upon Arch. Okay, it says I looked up Bazite now. I'm interested in it. Um Made a Margot. I didn't say anything bad about Arch. I just maybe made some eyebrow raises. But that's just me doing exercise trying to work up a sweat. You don't do that? I sometimes if I've been sitting around all day, sitting at my computer, I need to get a workout going. I just have to. You may not see it, but I'm burning calories. So yeah, looking at Bazite, I mean one of the descriptions, but this is from the fucking I another side quest here. I don't Google to get AI overview. I Google and use search engines, which I need to switch to just DuckDuckGo. But I use a search engine to get search results, not to have some ignorant system that doesn't understand context read all the results and then try to summarize them into something that may or may not be just complete bullshit. No, so I I would like to have a gaming. I've got a pretty large game PC, right? But because I'm spoiled, I would like to have a PC that I can hook up to my TV upstairs. I basically live in my basement here, while working. But there's sometimes I would just like to, sit back, in the recliner, put my legs up, have that keyboard on my lap, and play on a big ass TV. And so if I were to put together a system, a very a simple system, and stream games, but stream games from big game PC to something like a smaller desktop built on Bazite, not built on, but running Bazite. But still, if I want to do some internet browsing or bullshit just from the comfort of my recliner, might be interesting to look at. So does it use Proton? And I know I'm just saying, like, regurgitating words here. Like, does it Proton? Does it Steam Proton Valve? Indexed. Steam Deck. Controller. Up, down, left, right, B. A. Okay. Okay, if ceiling detect is colliding. Wait, what? Oh, did I not put it in the state or interface here? Oh, Raycast. It's in the Raycast. That is awesome, Hildon. Thank you for telling me about that. And I think I missed a couple messages back. Use Ubuntu, the Windows of Linux. You're not wrong. I mean, I have a tendency to early adopt things. Like, I have an older System 76 laptop, and the last time I used it, Pop! OS was just released. They're just like, hey, we're giving you Pop! OS now. It's for creators. It's for those that do, or some shit like that. Well, Hilden, the laptop that I have doesn't that wasn't a concern, because it was a pretty basic, just like, I want to do web dev, but it wasn't there. I'm looking at some of the newer machines that they have though, and hey, that wouldn't be so bad. Wait, I called it floating? Why would I call it floating? Let's make sure that I have the raycast in here. Ceiling detect. All right, there we go. So we reset after the ceiling detect happens, and this is where we're going to have to create a new state for resetting, I think. This is now we're getting into the part where I couldn't find where to do things. Is bottles like their version of like Yum or apt? I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is homebrew on Mac, like flasks. Oh, okay. I mean, it would make sense since, okay. So it makes it harder to break because you can't just do apt-get or yum install or yum update everything. All right, Stony, take care. Good to see you. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your time zone. Change state. Yeah, we're going to change state to falling here. Okay. Reset to fall, and then add it in a to-do. Okay, at to-do. Now, this line is essentially what brought this all on. Ryan, welcome back. Good to see you. Because I want an additional transition because of this. Let me. Music has stopped. You know what? I've had it with these. Um. Sound not working for Spotify. Just a minute, Ryan. Just a minute. Right, there we are. All right. This is not copyright free music, but still playing it. Because I moved it over to the non-VOD music. Sorry, folks on YouTube. So Ryan, I'm working on my falling game, my swing and falling game. Yeah, a little store for you. But yeah, this is what brought it on. Well, Ryan, I haven't been here either. I took some time off, and I'm gonna be taking time off next week as well. I've got to drive out to a conference. The game This is game. Ba-da-ba-da. Ooh, I'm still alive. It's about falling. You swing, you grapple. If you fall too far, you get blown, and you have to start back from the last checkpoint area. See? Somewhat physics-based. Yep, did it. Built from scratch. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for everything. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great night, time zone, whatever. And I hope to see you back as well. I'll check out your next stream if I can. Oh, 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 oh! Can I make it? Can I make it? Oh, barely. All right. Oh, okay. This one's dirty. I'll admit that this one is dirty. I made it. But if you fall too far, Ryan, if you fall too far, well, you get sent back. But that right there is a spot. There's another spot. Not really a whole lot of math, just some subtraction. And then I'm using, some physics impulses to affect the swinging, but you can't swing higher. Any algorithms? Yes. Da-da-ba-da-da. I mean, we're using normalized, we're using length, we're doing perpendicular stuff. Yeah, I said dick. Fighting annelids! Welcome in! Then we're doing some constraints here, including radial velocity, radial dampening. Then we're applying swing decay, not George Takei, but like swing decay. So if you don't to get swinging again, you have to press the button. You have to go one side or the other. And if you don't, what just happened? Did I disconnect? Did something disconnect? But yeah, we add in the swing decay there. And also a bit of physics. Oh, can I make him go higher? Boom, boom. Nope. Okay. We got that max swing. We got that max swing energy. Oh, falling down, falling down, falling down. Boom, boom, back to the top. Oh, they go rabbit. Oh, but don't. Right. No, I'm going further south. I'm going. Yeah, further south. Going to be at a conference that my company's sponsoring. Okay. Back to. It's a Drupal conference, and I'd imagine it's going to be live. Otherwise, I'm going to be very, very surprised when I get there. Codebrains, that depends on who's asking. I mean, if I travel, if I go abroad, I'm probably going to say that I'm Canadian, but I do live in the U.S. I just know that right now there's not a lot of patriotism or positive views of Americans. Character is on floor. Gonna idle. Ryan, somewhere around there. I don't know. It's a decent size thing. Return. Oh, fuck yeah, I got it. So, Codebrains, I'm from the Midwest in the U.S., but to be slightly more specific, I'm from the Chicago. God damn it, Chicago area. Not to be too specific, but to be somewhat specific. And every once in a while, I have one of those personalities that picks up accents the longer I'm around them. So recently, I was in Asheville, North Carolina, which is technically in the South, and so not so much in Asheville, but on the way there, um, like in Kentucky and Tennessee, like just talking to people at gas stations. Yeah, I'll be right there. Okay, it's almost you think that it's exaggerating it, but no. Okay, we're still in floating, so characters on floor. Then we go to idle. Oh man, South Dakota was so last year. Last year I drove coast to coast. No, the year before, I think. I think it was, or the year before that. Whatever. Um, but I've driven to Portland, Oregon, from the Chicago area twice, and that whole flyover area, South Dakota, Montana, Nebraska. Did I go through Nebraska, Idaho, all those? Bit of Wyoming. You know what? I gotta pee. I'm doing the PV dance. I'm gonna put on words really quick and go do that. Jim the Dandy. Not quite. Not quite. If I go now, if I go now. All right. I will be back in just a few minutes. All right, back. And about 33 fluid ounces lighter. All right, so we're also welcome back, Fallen. We also had a first time chat while I was gone from Ryasar. Which you can make fly away with some of the redeems. Are my redeems too expensive? Is that why people don't use them? I need to lower the cost. Just trolling someone on Splitgate. What's Splitgate? Yeah, all y'all are coming in here talking about things I don't know. What? Oh, it's a game. Is it a game? It's a game. Free to play first person shooter game. Van the Man doing a 180. Turn around. Turn around. Van the Man is doing a 180 and looking behind him and sees me. Turn around. Wait, no. That's not it. How you doing, my friend? Welcome back. Characters on floor, then we do that, and then wait a minute. Why am I doing this? Okay. I have done something and confused myself. The floating state and falling state seem to be pretty damn close. We're still gonna do fall. State machine ready for grab. True. Let's go back here. Ready for grab. And then reverse gravity. Let's put this in the floating state. Otherwise, add in this function here, little helper function, and we'll say it's a helper function by going blah, blah, blah. Wait for grab. Reverse gravity. Delta. Do I have it up here in the no character state machine maybe? Gravity. Ooh, you flew away. Floop. I need a good sound effect. I don't want to steal Biggs's ideas. It'd be like and add the Wilhelm scream, but I think that might be kind of fun. Um, or I could probably just find a uh character gravity. Character gravity. I could probably just find a random scream sound. Okay, where do I have hmm. character state machine owner. This is going to be main character. Main character, we should have all kinds of shit up here. Gravity, speed. All right, there we go. There we go. Got all the stuff. All the stuff that a growing boy needs. Where am I going here? Oh, I thought that I had something here. Maybe not. Maybe I was wrong. I just realized I'm not like I need to add just a an action here. Um, add a Twitch. Chat, chat. Okay, let me just put that at a timer. We're gonna do that, and then 1500. That is 30 minutes. Or Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that. While I was thinking about it, it's simple enough to add in. There. Why not? Um, okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Now, where was I on this? We're looking at the floating state. Um, and a special thank you to anybody who can see this right now. You're not watching ads. You're watching me. I normally take a break during ads, but if you can see this, then I appreciate you either being a sub or using Turbo. If you can't see this, I appreciate you sticking around for the ads because it does add a couple cents to my pocket and keeps the food paste going into my mouth hole. So thank you. Thank you. Did we lose chat when I do this? No, okay. So we're in floating state here. Okay. You want to perform stock market trades while banking with McDonald's. Well, I'm glad that they worked. You know, I mean, we're not. Still done asking the tough questions there. I need to slow down the timer on that Kofi thing. That's happening way too much. Sorry, it's a never ending, like, figure it out the right time. There we go. We'll do that. Um, go. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. And Hilden, thank you for asking the tough question. Is it better to reach daily sub goal or to reach nightly dom goal? Well, I guess that depends on the person. I personally would like to reach the daily sub goal because I like money. And everything that I earn while streaming goes back into making stream better or game dev. Like my green screen, my lights, my microphone. Stuff like that. Um Okay, so we're applying the upward force that way by subtracting from character velocity y. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, on the enter, we do that. We play the fall. We say that we're ready for grav, and then we do that. Now, I think that reset character state here is floating. Everything is going to be going back to false through that when we go back to idle. And I also think that I want to do that in walk state as well. State machine, not character. Set character state. All right. Got it. Got it. It's dead. One of the most annoying things about those little fruit flies is they are too small for my fly swatter. I've got an electric fly swatter that shocks them, but they're too small to bridge the gap between the negative and the positive. They don't go. Let me tell you, that is pretty satisfying to hear. All right, so we got that. We got the walk state. Got the floating state. On floor. Now, it shouldn't be able to get to the floor. So a very good friend of the stream, Science Streams, he's a bug scientist. Fucking brilliant. But yeah, mostly does like bug science and like all of their emotes because it's a family. See if I can find one of the fruit flies. I can't. Why? Oh, there. What the hell? Frankerface, you're breaking my heart. No, not entomologist. Research geneticist or something like that does stuff on bug. BH. Go. Also Codex. I don't think he's an entomologist. Ah, hell. Where he go? Out. Science communicator. Blah blah blah. About research scientist. Yeah, that's I don't necessarily know if they would be considered etymologists, but could be wrong. Also, Codex, how you been? How you been? Getting better? I'm glad to hear it. Definitely glad to hear it. I know I've been going through some stuff myself, so I can definitely um respect and appreciate what you're going through. So yeah, sometimes my meds don't. They just not that they stop working, but they take. Seems like they take a break. But I mean, before I was medicated, not quite to the level of my personal story. I wasn't ever diagnosed as bipolar disorder, but ADHD does. Did you code all the stuff around your window, like little TVs and big TV? Yes, yes, Code Brains. I did, and let me show you. This is my studio. This is my chair. This is my microphone. Here's my coffee mug. But yeah, all this is using data coming from OBS for the camera. So I've got my cameras being fed into OBS. OBS is sending the data over to Godot. Godot is rendering it in Engine, and it's doing the same with my screen. However, all the commands and everything that happens, like the chat, that's all coming from StreamerBot with a WebSocket connection open in Godot, subscribing to pretty much everything. But what I was saying about I was never diagnosed bipolar, but I haven't been diagnosed as some other things. But there are like ADHD, severe ADHD can mimic bipolar disorder in a lot of ways. And so with mine and my depression, there's so many things that are just like big balls of if you have this, then you have this, and you have this. That was a fly. That wasn't just my seal impression. That was a fly coming to my nose. But so before I would have like waves of good time, and then deep valleys. Now I still have the waves like this, but they're not as, you know, the not frequency, the amplitude is much reduced compared to the amplitude when I was unmedicated. Fancy words. Yeah, Code Brains. I have all this here. It's heavily inspired by Space Ghost Coast to Coast. The big problem I ran into, I wanted to have like my desk and have me basically look like I was sitting there. But unfortunately the perspective made it look weird. So like putting my hand out like this instead of, you know, if I put my hand in front to try and make it look like it was on the desk, it looked bad. But having this like shiny coming from the lights and having this illusion of a TV set makes for some reason makes the perspective not be as upsetting. So I went with that. And same thing with my announcement. It is mapped to a model. So the host screen, let's see. I'm not going to change anything, I hope. Wow, something went really... Oh, it was just flat, Codex. Just flat. I don't want to change anything here. This looks bad. Because it would be pretty hard to model to a... I was looking at like some kind of mocap. But the NVIDIA AI stuff just isn't quite there to do like hand movement and stuff, and I don't have enough. So there's a clip that I have where I was experimenting with a way to do it. Hold on one second. Sorry. I had to check something. Let me see if I can find that clip where just testing. Oh, there we go. There's a pop out. So I was trying to, test some extra movement type stuff here. Pigorley, welcome in. Great to see you. And how did Valheim go? So Codex, I've been looking at MediaPipe, and there's something else similar. Okay, allow while visiting the site. The problem is getting it into Godot, right? Go Brains, what were you saying? You have a good point. Okay, so WebSocket, I'd still have to like. There is a lot of data over WebSocket that would have to be transmitted. But I mean, that's cool. There were a couple other things too. I think NVIDIA AI or NVIDIA Broadcast, if it gets there, it's going to be really cool. I mean, it already does the facial stuff. Um, Ah. Okay, let's save that. Man, the man, it is MediaPipe, and Codex just put the link up. Codebrains, that is very good feedback. And oftentimes I do remember to be like, oh, I need to increase the size so that people can read. There was also other feedback too from somebody. Codex wanted to say, what? Say something. I want my stream to be good. I want people to be like, hey, this is cool. I want to hang out here. And if like if there's something I could do to make it better, please. I'm not going to take offense unless it's, you know, something like you know, change your face. That's if that's your feedback, then I might take issue with it. Okay, let's okay, we got that. How much stuff does this move? This moves. Oh, it moves the wall too, which might not be the worst thing. For Dev, welcome in. Now the problem is, I want to make sure that we're not getting into the critter corral. Then nope. That where was the nope? Yeah, let's W that. There we go. How's that? How is that? Oh, ooh, we got to make sure that the chat. All right, Codex, take care. Appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate you stopping in. Hope that you take care of yourself, which it sounds like you're going to. Codebrains, is this slightly better? It's this is a request that somebody else has had to. So yeah, please, if there's anything that I can do to improve my stream, please tell me. There, test frame. Ooh. Plane, deplane, deplane. Actually, the chat should be fine because that is not part of the thing, and I just moved this side to side, so that shouldn't be an issue. That's it. I'm saving it. And I'm sorry. Here, let me go back to the actual like working on something. I want my stream to be as accessible as possible. And that's the crux of it. Crux? That's the crux of it. And folks, Codex has been streaming some good shit. Be sure to check them out. You'll be doing yourself a big favor. We need to do something. We need to make more fun redeemies. Something just went really weird. Like something's messed up with the Twitch. Yeah, there's definitely a happy medium in there. It's definitely a happy medium somewhere between like I can't see anything because it's too big and people trying to read. It's hard to do a coding stream, especially with people looking on their phones and trying to read. In that case, I just have to be like, nah. Look at me, don't look at the code, look at me. And I'm willing to make concessions to make things more accessible and readable to more people. Including, you know, the all the people on YouTube. Not hi YouTube folks. Okay, back at it. Where was that? That was there. Okay, this is floating state going up. And then ready for reverse gravity is that. And then looking back at the main character 1. Falling, animation player fall. Okay, global's there. Grappled. Go. I don't see the okay. Blown. Nope, not where I wanted to go. Reverse gravity. I want to find out where we're calling this. Where are we calling this? If floating and ready for grav, then we just reverse gravity. And this is in our physics process. Perfect. It's not a function. It is a signal. But yeah, adding in some of this stuff, like hour 70 of a 72-hour jam. I may have gone a little bit cuckoo bananas. Now let's add in our new script. Character state interface. It is going to be the grappling state. Grappling state. All right, first thing we need to do on enter. Let's get the interface here. Okay, so we're going to look for a target point, and we're just going to have that var outside because we're definitely going to use it in other functions. And so like we were doing in the in the spaghetti code, we are going to look for that target point. And we're going to do character closest grapple point. And I want to make sure that that character body 2D, state machine owner. Then that one is going to remain in our main character script. Find closest grapple point. I'm getting good at this. So boom, we're keeping that. If not target point we change back to the previous state. So it's going to look for one if you press the button to grapple. If it doesn't exist, then we just ignore the button. Right? And then we just get out of that function. All right. So if we don't have that, perfect. Global position X is less than if it's behind us, that's what we're looking at. If it's behind us, we can't just do an opposite of current because we might already be facing that way. So we might go back to that one. Let's check what is our animation name here. Just throw. Throw. There we are. Just throw. At. No, not a stupid question at all. Not a stupid question at all. So, and this is something that I always confuse myself on. Physics, physics process happen, both process and physics process happen every tick. What I always forget is which one happens, like, regardless. So why don't I just go here real quick. Okay, process happens every frame as fast as possible. Okay, this is where process happens as much as it can. Every frame, and that depends on how many frames per second you set up. And you can set that up in the project settings here with a max. I don't know where it is right off the top of my head, but application run. Config. I thought it was in config. Either way. Maybe it's under this? No. Anybody in chat know where the physics ticks per second? Okay, physics ticks per second. 60. So you can set it there. But process happens as often as possible. right? Every frame. Chat, Pagorli, if you're still here, Odious, anybody who knows more about Godot, is there a way to change the... That's what I'm trying to remember. Process is... I should know this. I should know this. It's just one of those things I don't really think about. Config. Frame delay, nope. Okay, well, so process itself, no. Physics process, however, is tied to the max frames. And again, please, if anybody's in here and is like, "Hey, you're wrong, please stop talking. You're just spouting bullshit." I don't want to say anything as fact that I don't know is fact, right? So in common, physics ticks per second, 60. You can increase it, you can decrease it, but it's always going to be that. Ooh. Didn't realize. Okay. But process can go faster, can go slower. And Wallaber. Yeah, I shout out last. Wallaber is another game dev. Does some really amazing stuff. He explained it very well. How they're with the process versus physics process, how you can get kind of where the physics interpolation and stuttering can come into effect. Let me see if I can word it even close to the way he worded it. Right? So you've got physics process, that the delta for physics process, depending on what you have it set at, is going to be the same, right? It's like 0.016 seconds at 60 frames per second, or 60 ticks per second, right? Now with process, though, let's get... things can happen. You know, something might happen here, here. Just depending on how much computational power it takes, and it could go faster. So the interpolation where it needs to happen is, say that you have a couple frames. Let's just say, for example, here, a process takes a little bit here, and you've got a couple frames here, physics, where it's not getting any information, it's not updating anything, and then it could look kind of jerky if it's, 3 frames, dropping the frame rate down. So the interpolation will take it so that it looks cleaner between here and here. But and somebody, again, correct me if I'm explaining this wrong. I don't want to give out bad information. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But the process is going to just run frame by frame as needed. But the physics process is the one that you set it's going to tick every set time. Yes, code brains. Exactly. Exactly. And I think that no, I think it's an add-on or an asset. Um uh bug. I want to say that there is a script debugger of some sort here, or some way to easily see like the counts. Ooh, what does do? There we go. Debug menu. This is what I was looking for. And this is one of the great things about Godot 2 is the asset library. Just the fact that so many things are free. And I read somewhere in somebody's chat, so I don't know how accurate the information is, that Godot wants to get away from having the in IDE browser library, and instead have get rid of that too. Have the Godot asset library website as a thing. Again, anybody in chat who knows for sure, correct me or confirm me. Go. So profiler, physics time frame, 16.66 milliseconds, so 0.016 seconds. And the process time, much faster. Here, let's see how quickly that's going. Stop. So looking at the process, oh, good. Oh, before we couldn't zoom in. Oh, I usually use this for 3D stuff, and I haven't done 3D in a long time. So you can see it's going up and down here. The physics time frame time is constant here. Now, granted, it doesn't show much, but it's constant no matter what. The process time itself, though, that is kind of how quick can we make it? And, it goes down pretty low to 1 millisecond, all the way up to almost as high as the physics. Exactly. Physics time when we do that graph. And because since we're doing 2D, it's much lower. Now, if I were to go over into this, ugh, and let's do some. Do that. Boom. See how my frame time just jumped up there? Because each one of those, while they're cached, stop. Wait, no, I was able to zoom in before. No, damn it. It's because it's this is Godot 4.3. There were some significant changes. The physics time is lower there because there's not a lot of physics happening. But the frame time goes significantly up here from the process when we called all those emotes to need to be rendered. Does that help out at all, CodeBrains? It's something that, I mean, I forget the terminology. I understand what one does and the other doesn't, but I always forget physics is consistent, process is not. Process just happens as fast as it can happen. And, this gets way down there where you can't really. Yeah, it's. I think the thing here is making sure that. Whoa. That is something that doesn't seem right. I should be able to zoom in, like, maybe if I get rid of all these, we'll zoom in. Oh, maybe not. I can't see anything. But yeah, the physics process, I don't know enough about Arduino or hardware circuit stuff like that, but the physics process is it's going to happen no matter what time. And the process itself is going to happen as quick as it can, but you're not going to see the update until the physics frame. So the process is what's happening in the background. Physics is visible, is I guess one way to think about it. So even though when we had the debug, hell, I've still got it going. So even though it says, 170, that's just how quick the process is going. But visually, we're still only going to see 60 because that's how quickly physics are going to refresh. There we go. Something like that. Oh, hold on. I need to jot that down. Video ideas. Yes, something like that. That definitely. That does resonate with me when you set an interval with 0, just to have it go as fast as it can. I I don't know that I'll ever get to it, but jotting down the idea can't be a bad thing, right? Maybe I'll get to doing that. The next one, I actually wrote out the code for my next tutorial. I just haven't recorded it yet, and it shouldn't be too large. Too large. Wow. Tell me how I really feel about myself. It shouldn't be too hard to do, because the whole thing is, how do you make a game in under 10 minutes using Godot? There are a couple like, hey, download these free ass resources from Kenny that might take a couple more seconds than 10 minutes, but not really. Did I miss a chat in YouTube? Doesn't look like it. Top chat, no. Live chat. OBS showing. I want to see live chat. All messages. I feel like shit if I missed a message from somebody, unless it's just my chat coming through there. So I multi-stream because I'm trying to use the exposure on YouTube to funnel people over to Twitch. Oh, okay. So maybe analytics isn't showing the whatever. Get back here. Be sure to check out Adagon Dev. I was playing Peak with them, Full Box, and IRAD Dev earlier. It was a good time. And then IRAD left us to play something else. Full Box left us to have a life. Adagon left us because he died very violently. Actually, in that run, we all died violently, but it was a good time. Good time was had by all, especially the people watching us. And I think that if we should do like some kind of fundraiser, or even like a peakathon thing. Is that a word? Peakathon? It is now. Copyrighted it. Just created a new one. What did I create? Grappling state. Yeah, there we are. But there is crowd control for Peak, which could be fun and angering, but mostly fun. I mean, one of my goals for this is to like have a crowd control for it, or at least have people playing it against each other, like some people play Jump King. Because Jump King is fun, angering, exactly what I want in a game. All right, back to my state machine. I know Stony isn't here, but Stony, I have been craving mushrooms ever since you sent me that picture. I love mushrooms. Okay, on enter, we change the scale to the direction that we're going. So, and this is all that we're going to do when throwing. No, it's not. What am I? No, because we're not going to do this in physics. We're going to set the let me make sure that I have it in character here. Did I do a swinging state? Yeah, I'm gonna do a swinging state. Okay, okay. So this is just for the grapple throwing. Now let's. You know what we need to do? You know what we really need to do here? I need to back up my shit. Use Git. Ooh, 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 ooh. Do I have a Git ignore? You are not canceled. But I should put the I took away the adult content thing, but I should put a 18 up tag. Just so no fetuses, fetuses come in here. Um Oh, there we go. Put the Code Brain's fair, but I want to make it clear that I don't want children in here. So I think that maybe I took off the tag, the mature content tag before, because I thought that it might damage my discoverability. But the opposite of that is I don't want childs coming in here and being like, ooh, I want to watch game dev, as I come in here and go, fuck, shit, fuck, titty, fuck. Yeah, there. If somebody comes in here and says, "Hey, I'm only 13," Instaban. You know what? I'm covering my ass, because in the event that there are quite a few games that fucking fly that might accidentally show nudity. I can't think of the one where like flashes. It's a multiplayer, not Dead by Daylight, but um, shit. It's one that I have too. Starts with a PH, I think. No, no. It's gonna bug me if I don't figure it out. Munglo, welcome in. You're just in time for some ads. Not Messenger either. Oh, I need to make this a redeem. Chat Ragdoll Racing. Uh, God. What is it? What is it? It's time for me to pee. That's what it is. Not content warning, but something like content warning. It starts with a P. I guarantee it starts with a P. And the fact that I keep saying P means I gotta pee. I'm not making it easier on myself. So I'll be right back. Okay, back. And so the rules of this, I didn't say because I really had to go, is if you see a padlock on your name, you can't add anything in. Words also have to be 4 letters or more. So you can't like spam words, but see, like I have a padlock on my name now, so I can't type anything else. You do live, live, or bile. Come on. Ah, okay. Turn off autopilot there, so it doesn't start back up. Turn that off. Where? Okay, there we go. Good try, though. Good try. All right, so where were we on this? I'm actually getting shit done tonight. I like it. All right, so we're throwing here. We're going to set the target point to our grapple point in the state machine. The character. So that'll tell us the distance between the target point and the character. Okay, what was I doing here? Let's see. Find closest grapple. No, we're doing that in physics grapple. Prevent division by 0. This is out of control. Welcome in. I'm doing great. Now that this is out of control here, it's time to raid out again. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love seeing you. I love it when you come around. How have you been? What games you been playing? How are things? Okay, that's why I have this. That's why I have this. To prevent the division by 0. Skip physics. My name's This Is Out of Control, and I play games, and I'm good at them. You need to come watch me play the games. That's right. I'm the best at Fortnite. Sounded just like you, didn't it? Perfect impression. I figure I either need to, like, if I can't nail it, I need to just go all in on making it weird. Oh, great. Oh, don't drop a dookie in my pool. If you drop a dookie in my pool, I'm going to be very upset. How is Pally? I mean, oh, good. Thank you for redeeming the camera. Ooh, hold on. Can I do it quick enough? Let's see what my game looks like. Doesn't look bad. You can even see the rope. I have a problem with a lot of the free-to-play games. Because I fall for them. Like, you know, I will keep buying and buying stuff. Like, even though it doesn't matter. Like, Overwatch, it's killing me right now. I haven't played Overwatch in months. I've been playing Dune all the time. But Overwatch, I'll see something like, ooh, Transformers. I must have it. Or Marvel Rivals, and be like, ooh, you mean you have the Deadpool Wolverine costume? You mean the greatest costume ever? Must have it. That's how you get you. As long as they're not pay to win. I think that's my biggest thing, is the pay to win games, where the pay to win free to play. If it's a paid game, like Dune, you pay once. Yeah, if I want to buy, if I want to pay, well, maybe that's maybe not the best way to think, because even on Dune, I'm seeing a lot of the buy in-game currency at best price in-game Solari currency, free gold, cash for cat.org edu. How they got an edu domain, I don't know. Those are always reserved for colleges. Maybe it's somebody working their own gold farm out of a college. I don't know. Also, I get very addicted to games very easily, so especially if it's free. We were looking at Grappling State. Let's get Physics Skull. Okay, target point, goal position. Divide by 0. Vector 2 up gives us a 0, -1. That's all it is. That's all it is. Our target position. Going to be our target point global position. Going to normalize the 2 car. And the grapple radius, right? Too much. Oh, wow. So Code Brains. When I was in high school, freshman in high school, Final Fantasy VII had come out right around the time of my spring break. And I wanted to play it, and a couple of my friends wanted to play it. So we rented a PlayStation, PS1, an original OG PlayStation. We rented Final Fantasy VII. Well, we didn't rent a memory card. So we spent time playing Final Fantasy VII. We couldn't turn it off. I shouldn't laugh. But we couldn't shut off the PlayStation because we didn't have a memory card. We were afraid of leaving the PlayStation because we didn't have a memory card and something might happen and it might turn off. And
Hey, insert rating streamer's name here. Thank you for the raid. How did insert last activity here go? Now, let's rock.
Raiders, 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 Raiders,
Welcome in, Kiri Bloodrose. How are you? How was your stream? What were you up to? First time chat, too. Trashing our rights, man. Trashing the flow of data. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hack the planet. What were you up to? If you got anything to share, please feel free. Mikasa is suitcase. Also, if you need to raid and run, I completely get it. Raiders coming in, those of you who don't know me, I'm JD. I do web development professionally, but on stream, I do game development. Currently, I'm working on a... Oh, a stream was awful due to connectivity. I hate it when that happens. That happened to me a few weeks ago, where my frames just kept dropping and dropping, like out of nowhere. And, you know, I do fast.com. I'd have full download. Pretty memories. First time chat. And you nailed it. You nailed it. Yes, my overlay here, built in Godot, the game engine Godot. Thank you for the follow. Built in Godot, and heavily inspired by Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I wanted to do more of a, like, just me sitting in the chair situation, but the perspective got so weird when I would put my hand, because you can't put your hand on the desk. So I put myself in the screen. Now this entire thing is built in a game engine, and so if I ever have guests on, they have a TV too. I am still working on. I think that our friend Finite Singularity, who makes a ton of OBS plugins, you know, that effect that you like that you have in OBS, he made it, or Exceldro made it. Definitely one of those two. Has recently made an outline type feature so that I can have the fade in like Space Ghost did at the beginning of the episodes. It won't be exact. I mean, but right now I do have. So that's not horrible. But right now, my main project that I'm working on is an anger game that is based on Jump King, but it's Jump King upside down. If you don't know Jump King, it's a game where you try to jump to the top, and it's very likely that if you don't time it just right, you're going to fall and get hurt and end up back at the beginning, or you know, just fall down to a point far before where you were. This one, instead of like that, you try to grapple down instead of jumping up. And if you fall too far, that's just bad placement. That's just bad placement. I need to stop jumping off there to show off. If you fall too far, then you get sent back up to a previous checkpoint. Here's a better example. And also, Kiri, try Hack Me. What's your opinion on Try Hack Me versus Hack the Box? I'm interested in both. But the fact that Try Hack Me is a lot easier, or a lot cheaper, is really what is dragging me towards it, because the company I work for, we primarily do security stuff. I do web development part of it, like maintain a product, keeping it secure. Okay. But we're also thinking about getting into, you know, trying to do more content to do more brand awareness. And so I might be streaming for them and doing, like, you know, web dev learns security with Try Hack Me. And yeah, Prinny, it is kind of leap of faith, but at the same time, you can't jump at all. The only way you can move. Wow, I am bad at level design. Is by swinging, or not only way you can move. The only way you can go from platform to platform is either falling. Yeah, pretty much. Drop man. Best way to learn hacking. That's fair. We definitely want something for content. That's going to be exciting rather than just watching me learn C. I think Try Hack Me would be something kind of interesting. Definitely something that I need to talk to our marketing guy about when we're at that conference next week. So what I'm doing now is I'm refactoring my main character script. His main character script is spaghetti. 450 some lines of pure greasy ketchup spaghetti sauce, palm sweaty mom spaghetti code. And I'm trying to make it better by using a finite state machine. So we're going through the different states that the character is going to be using and putting them into the state machine. Right now, I'm currently working on the grappling state. So the state where the character is standing in one place, looking at a hook and going, "Fa-ding," which that might be the sound effect when I add sounds to it. Now that I think about it, whoa, aha, fa-ding. Save money on hiring sound effects or buying assets. Fa-ding. So we're at target position, character grapple radius. Clear any tweens that might exist. Kill the tweens. I love the things that you could say as a developer. Some of the things that you would get in trouble for saying anywhere else, like you'd be put on some kind of registry for saying in any other situation. You can say just fine as a developer, like I'm going to kill all these orphans, or destroy the tweens. Or let's shake these children out of the trees. It's great. It's great. I made you sad. I love writing those kinds of comments. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Grapple tween. Tween that is running. Kill the tween. I love those nihilistic RBs tweets. Are they still doing them? Grapple tweet. It's because I'm tweening between grapple, like not having rope and roping. It's an old animation term where the good artists like your Tex Avery and um Chuck Jones. I'm trying to think of the ones I used to see on like the credits of the best or cartoons because Mel Blanc did voices. He wasn't an animator, but they would do like the primary frames of like, okay, Bugs Bunny or Tom and Jerry or the Wile E. Coyote going from to, and they would do like this and this, and then they just send it off to some interns, also known as tweeners, to make all the frames going between. Bugs and Jerry would be more interesting. When I was a young lad, I tweened the hell out of Flash. All right, we're going to have a lot of state machine here. Oh, wow. Wow, you're saying Macromedia. I see you. I feel you. I know where you're coming from here. Oh yeah. Wow. Wow. I'm just like you have derailed my brain hole. ICQ, yeah. Yo, what's your UID? Or UIN. When 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 I was at that age, on ICQ, uh I I was a jerk. I thought that I was, elite, hanging out on IRC in some of the hacker type channels and shit. And ICQ before like they realized, oh, this is a bad idea, used to have IP addresses in the user information. And I had this app to nuke. I don't even remember how it worked to nuke somebody's machine remotely, but it would like cause the BSOD on the target computer. And so I see my friends like show up on ICQ, like, "Ha, I own you." Oh, how did that even work? Oh, this is going to put me on some kind of registry. Looking up internet nuke attack. It was a DOS. Yeah. Sending out ICMP packets to a target machine. Yep. Slow it down and result in a BSOD in the case of Windows. And so ICQ would have their IP address just like out in the open. And I would just be I would just be a jerk. And anytime somebody would come on that I knew be like mid conversation, just plop. Watch them disappear, and I would be cracking up. Just cracking up in my room alone with no friends. Oh, exactly. Exactly. It was so easy. How many of these? I'm gonna need at least 4 of those. Grapple tween, grapple tween, grapple tween. Dugga-doo, dugga-doo, dugga-dugga, dugga-doo. At ease. Ease out. Set trans. Pod. Mean property. Global position. To the target position and character. Grapple duration. There we are. And finally, connect. And do a quick little anonymous function in here. Swinging. Make it a little bit more descriptive here. Yep. So do we have everything here? Clearing kill tweens. Oh, Code Brains. Did it really though? Did it really? How many times did you go to a website and wait 10 to 15 minutes for the background image to load because some little script kiddie like me had a 10 megabyte background image? Well, those are just cookies though. Those are just cookies and Bitcoin miners. That's fine. Okay, we're gonna change to that. To 0 input force, and the reason I started off with a 2400 baud. 14.4 was like a huge upgrade. And then when I finally got a 56K, oh man, nothing could touch me. Gonna be throwing. What the hell did I do there? Okay, character rope line 2. I was the king of the local BBC. Not BBC, BBS. Legend of the Red Dragon. Does anybody remember that game? Text-based. So sexy. The Only Lord. Legend of the Red Dragon. Set variables for grappling fuel. Right. Yeah, Code Brains. I had the same. There were two local ones that didn't have long distance. I remember them. Rob's Arcade and Crystal Caves. Because I couldn't get on America Online, I couldn't do Prodigy, I couldn't do CompuServe or anything because they were all long distance. I wasn't allowed to do long distance. 25 cents a minute. Although I still collected all the 10 hours free America Online CDs I could find. Or floppies or... All right, we're looking at the time. So for those of you who don't know, I hurt my thumb and now it's my spacebar thumb. And Net Zero Juno, Earthlink. Yeah, it's my spacebar thumb, so I need to go give it a rest. We've done quite a bit today. Made a lot of new friends. I like having all y'all come in here. This has been great. Thank you all. Let's find a raid target. If anybody has a suggestion, I'm all ears. If not, I will find somebody. No, actually, I think that we're going to go someplace that we don't go ever. But a friend of a friend of a friend doing some fundraising. So yeah. We're going to head on over to Astro Canuck. All right, thanks for all the new follows, all the raids. We have Blurry Squire, Code Brains, thank you so much. Lazy Pups or Pubs, pretty memories. Code Brains, thank you for the follow and sub on YouTube too. And RSR got rated in by Developed from Scratch thanks to a recommendation from Stony. Kiri Bloodrose, thank you so much for the raid too. I appreciate you all. I will be back probably Saturday, potentially Friday, but most likely Saturday during the day, and then I might do a game stream at night. All right, we're gonna head over to Astro Canuck. Unmute.
Joining in, we've had a few wonderful members
And
of the team.
Yeah, take care, everybody. Again, I appreciate you all. I don't have a raid message because the button is broken. We need to fix that eventually. Maybe.
Their experience.
If you got the subs, there's that one. If you don't got the subs, there's one.
Joiners for the event, and we'll be chatting with another one of our heroic coordinators in just a moment. Dad's come living and breathing. Can't ask for more.
All right,
Glad
all
to
right.
be
So
joining
we're heading
in.
over there. Bye, everybody.
Appreciate
Thank you. Have a great
y'all
day.
joining in. We got a donation. Pardon me. We got a donation from Bubba Zelnik, my mom. You've seen her on stream. She has co-hosted along with me on Mother's Day and birthday streams. And JD does dev. What are my lights today?
This is wow.
Well, welcome in, Raiders. I don't know what's up to the lights right now. JD, how are we doing? Liz, thank you very much for the combos.
Wow. This is wow.
Welcome. Raiders, thank you so much for joining us. Some more points for the raid tonight. Thank you all so much for joining it. I was just saying, I'm Tom, Astro Canuck. Love astronomy, space exploration, space, Lego, 3D printing. See you doing charity, so sharing the love to help you out. Well, thank you very much. JD, appreciate it. We are fundraising for Stand Up to Cancer. And for today, we're chatting with our community members, our team members for Stand Up Builders, and just introduce you to some of the wonderful people that will be fundraising for Stand Up to Cancer. We crashed through the $16,000. The $16,000 for the team total already on less than day one. Not even a complete revolution of the planet. We're approaching 20,000. We're past the halfway point to 20K. Grania, thank you very much for the lurk and for the dono. Holy hat and holy potatoes and holy Toledo. And maybe a bit of a holy potato hat. We got